High fly ball into right field. She is gone. Fernando Valenzuela has pitched a no-hitter. Clayton Kershaw pitches a no-hitter.
Turner in the air to center field. That ball's hit well. Martinez on the run. This is way back, and it is gone. It is a walk-off home run for Justin Turner.
And for the second consecutive season, the Dodgers are going to the World Series.
Bellinger hammers the ball. It's Bellinger's turn. Lifts a fly ball to left center field. Back towards the wall. It is gone. Mookie with another 3-home run game.
And welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. I'm your host, Doug McCain. Thanks for rocking with us as always. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. That's at DMac_LA. The Dodgers win the season finale, the regular season finale, 5-0. They shut out the Anaheim Angels of Los Angeles, of California, of the universe, whatever they're called these days. And now it's time for the postseason. But the Dodgers, they took care of business today. And A.J. Pollock, 2 bombs for A.J. Pollock today. And he now finishes the season tied for the team lead with Mookie Betts, 16 bombs on the year for A.J. Pollock. Hey, I'm looking for postseason Pollock to change this year. Last year, 11 strikeouts last year and 13 at-bats against the Nationals in the NLDS. We need him to step up this year and do work, and we're going to talk all about the postseason, all about the season, and but first and foremost, though, let me know where you're representing this season finale today. Let me know down below in the comments. Give me those cities, zip codes, area codes. Where are you representing Dodgers Nation from today? Because the Dodgers, they get the win. They finish the season with the record of 43-17. 43-17. For your boys in blue, a plus 136 run differential. The Braves game is still going on. I'm following this Braves game as we speak. It's the bottom of the 8th. Or to the top of the 8th right now. They're facing the Red Sox at home, and the Dodgers have a chance to finish the season with the lowest ERA and with the most runs. The Dodgers, they get 5 runs tonight. They went into today's action, trailing the Braves by only 3 runs. So let me get this straight. The Dodgers went into this year as the prohibitive favorites in the National League, and what did they do? They finished with the best record in baseball, 43-17. The first team in the National League to win 70% of their games since the 1909 Pirates. I know it's only 60 games, but the Dodgers, they took care of business all season long. They overcame injuries to starters, overcame a slow start from some of their big key players in the offense, but the Dodgers, they got it done. But we're going to break this thing all down. Michelle Carter, welcome to the show here. Day one here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. A.J. Pollock Redemption Tour. That's from Michelle Carter. Yeah, we're going to talk some A.J. Pollock in a second here. Repping the Dodgers from the 562. That's Isaac over on YouTube. We got Las Vegas in the house, the 702. We got Ryan Orion Montez from El Paso, Texas, over on Facebook. More O'Brien from Chandler, Arizona. Pollock started cracking home runs when his daughter came home from the hospital. Yeah, A.J. Pollock, if you know his story this year, it's unbelievable that he even played considering everything he went through. He overcame a coronavirus illness that he was going where he couldn't even visit his daughter who was born prematurely, and his wife says, hey, no, you're playing because you know if this team wins the World Series, you're going to regret it for the rest of your life. And A.J. Pollock has showed out all season long, and to me it's one of the great stories from the 2020 Dodgers, how A.J. Pollock came and he did the damn thing for your boys in blue all season long, and he did it with the power numbers. 16 bombs on the year for A.J. Pollock, 34 RBIs, and he ends the year hitting 276, OPSing 881. And one thing with A.J. Pollock was, how was he doing heading into late September, early October baseball? Last year, he was hitting 276 in the month of September, and then he fell off a cliff in that NLDS series. But I think this is a different A.J. Pollock. Right now, heading into tonight, he was 6 for 26 with 3 bombs, and he was hitting 174 in September, but he's really turned around, OPSing 864, and I think that A.J. Pollock is prime. To me, he's a big X factor. If they can get this level of production from A.J. Pollock, you know Justin Turner's coming through, you know Mookie Betts, who kind of had a little bit of a slide there in the last week of the season, last 7 to 10 days of the season. If they can get power from A.J. Pollock, they're going to need it. He's hitting over. He's really hits the left. He's the best. He's hitting like 333 against lefties on the year. A.J. Pollock redemption tour for sure, because he signs that deal. He was supposed to be that big bat on that side of the plate, and he did not come through last year in the NLDS. Well, he has an opportunity to show why the Dodgers signed him to that big deal, really one of the biggest deals that Andrew Freeman has signed, other than that Mookie Betts deal, of course, and we'll see if it pays dividends in October. I feel really good about A.J. Pollock. How do you guys feel? Give me your player of the game. Pretty much an easy one, A.J. Pollock, right? Michelle Carter, represent Dodgers Nation from Denver, Colorado. That's Ace Piazza over on YouTube. Brian Alec, Dodgers going to beat the Brewers. Yeah, I'm not concerned at all whatsoever with the Brew crew. To me, you go in there, you take care of business. And if you're the Dodgers, if you could have handpicked a lot of these teams, one of the things I was saying before the season was I knew that the Dodgers would finish 1 or 2 in their league, and you have to give the Dodgers an opportunity to have an advantage with no fans in the stands. I mean, what's the reward of finishing with the best record if you don't have home field advantage? If you don't get a bye or anything like that, at least let them pick the team, right? If I'm the Dodgers, I would have picked the Milwaukee Brewers, and for several different reasons. But one, they're just an average major league team that the Dodgers should make easy work of. Yes, I know baseball is baseball. It's cruel. It's weird. Sometimes you just can't make sense of it. But the Dodgers, with Walker Buehler going in Game 1, with Clayton Kershaw going in Game 2, and if need be, Gonsolin going in Game 3, the Dodgers will advance against the Milwaukee Brewers. I have no doubt in my mind that this Dodger team will do what it needs to make light work of this Milwaukee Brewers team. And what it comes down to is the fact that it's not like they're a hot team. They're playing .500 baseball in their last 10 games. Their offense, 25th in baseball. When it comes to batting average, they're 16th in home runs, 75 bombs on the year, 22nd in OPS. Christian Yelich has struggled all season long. In September, he's hitting .210. His last 7 games, Christian Yelich is hitting .170. Hira, their best hitter, really, he's hitting .195 in his last 10 games. So he's 10 for his last 52. And then the big factor, their ace. The only guy that could give fear to the Dodgers is Corbin Burns, and he was placed on the IL on September 25th with a strained oblique. So to me, now I think that the Brewers season is going to be bleak. You go against the Dodgers, you don't have your ace, you have an average offense, you're playing at Dodger Stadium. Let's beat the Brew in 2. What do you guys say down below in the comments? How do you guys have the Dodgers? Is it the Dodgers in 2? Is it the Dodgers in 3? Let me know down below in the comments. How will the first round wild card series go for your boys in blue? We got Reno, Nevada there, Billy. Dodge Yard, here we go. Greg, Great Falls, Montana, let's go Dodgers. Downey, California, Omar from Facebook. George, Flores, just homered. Giants trailing 5-4 in the 8th. That could shake things up. Let me know down below in the comments if anything develops with any playoff seeding. We're going to have to look into that because this is a live show here. And by the way, don't forget to subscribe to the new podcast, Dodgers Nation, Dodgers Dugout, wherever you get your podcast these days. And it's where we have all your takes on there. You hear your takes on basically your own podcast. You're going to want to support your podcast at Dodgers Nation, Dodgers Dugout, spelled like my name. And then we throw an additional analysis, post-game reaction from Dave Roberts and the players. Be sure to subscribe. And then also subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel at youtube.com/Dodgers Nation TV. But we got Ayala King Louis from Facebook from the 909 Redlands area. Hawaii, the 808 from Rayani James over on Facebook coming from Hawaii. We got Live, Breathe Blue. I love that. Live, Breathe Blue from Millie Rod over there. We got Deming, New Mexico. Steve Robb, we love you, Dodgers. True Blue Baby from Tucson. That's from Lupita over on Facebook. Pasadena, the Dina, my hometown over there. Visiting from Surprise, Arizona. That's from Nellie Webster. Michelle Carter, I'm actually visiting. Okay, a little sidebar conversation. It's all good. I love it. Matthew, Salt Lake City in the house. Go Dodgers. Yuba City from Jose. We got Millie. Then 909 Rancho Cucamonga. Brian Alex. Dodgers going to win it all. They just have to. They do. This has to be the year, right? This is the year the Dodgers win it all. The Lakers, what they do yesterday, they advanced in 5 games. What happened in 1988? Dodgers, they won the championship. Lakers, they won the championship. We can get the same shirt. We don't even need a different shirt. Just have it on one shirt. Dodgers Championship City, Los Angeles. Throw a Laker logo, throw a Dodger logo. Let's get it done. This city deserves a World Series and a Larry O'Brien. So, Brian Alex, Brewers versus Dodgers. AJ, Greg Pierce, Pollock all day. Easily AJ. Yeah, AJ Pollock did well. I think Dustin May. Let's look at some of the numbers here. AJ Pollock goes 3 for 3 today. 3 RBIs. and he got the Dodgers not very many hits. They get 6 hits on the day, and A.J. Pollock, he was the igniter of that Dodger offense. Those Pollock bombs all day long. And like I said, I want to see a different playoff Pollock. And I think that this is what you wanted from a guy that in that NLDS, he struggled so mightily, was striking out, couldn't hit a beach ball off a tee, and there was like a hole in his bat in that series. I mean, it was like there wasn't even a bat at all, but because he was missing so badly. But for him to have this momentum going into the postseason, that's exactly what you want if you're A.J. Pollock and the Los Angeles Dodgers. And it all went down in the bottom of the first inning. A.J. Pollock goes yard, 15th bomb of the year. It was a fastball up and inside, and he's been punishing those all season long. So good job, A.J. Pollock. And then, of course, he gets another one off in the 7th. So Jock Peterson singles the center in the 7th, and A.J. Pollock goes deep for his second bomb of the day, 16th of the year, and he punished the sinker there. So I love what I'm seeing from A.J. Pollock and the Dodgers heading into. How do you guys feel, man? One-word answer. How do you guys feel entering the postseason? Are you nervous? Are you confident? Are you excited? Let me know down below in the comments. Because I like that. Pocktober from Tor. My man, if I had the real FRG's thing where you make the sounds, I'll give you a cool sound for that because I like that. Mr. Pocktober from Tor Campbell over there on Facebook. We got Leanne over on We Are Mentally Physically Ready. Go Dodgers. We got Pocatello, Idaho from Robert over on Facebook. Maura O'Brien, no doubt, is AJ the player of the game. Terry Simon, Las Vegas. We got short season but great year. Go Blue. Maura O'Brien. Yeah, it was a short season. It did fly by. I did think that each game would be a little more relevant considering that it was a truncated season. You had 60 games, but when they expand the postseason, I mean, what do you expect, right? To me, I savor every Dodger game no matter what. I don't care if it's 162 or 60 games, and I'm just glad that we were able to get through an entire season, give the Dodgers, mash that hard button, knock on wood too, but mash that hard button for the Dodgers. No coronavirus big outbreaks or any drama from that respect all season long. The Dodgers were clearly one of the franchises that were out in front as far as following protocols and everything like that. So good job. A fantastic job by the Dodgers from top to bottom this year as an organization. The cardboard cutouts, they led the league in cardboard cutout attendance. Only a few games left for the cardboard cutouts. They should send them to Texas, man. Send those cardboard cutouts to Texas. They deserve it because we all know that if Dodger fans were able to go to Texas, that would be packed with Dodger Blue. Best fans in the game, Dodgers Nation. Mash that hard button for yourself. We got Dodgers in 2 from Brian Alex. Dodgers in 2 from Cisco over on Facebook. We got Dodgers in 2 from Greg Pierce. Giants are still in it, nerd. That's from Johnny. Thanks a lot, my man. The Giants, let's see what the score is. Because if you've been watching this show, I am rooting for the Giants to play the Dodgers because I think that would be at a great chapter to this history of this franchise. Having the Dodgers face the Giants in that wild card series, I think it would be great for baseball, and I think the Dodgers would take care of business, whoever it is, because, look, I want to be able to tell my Giants friends, hey, you guys, we played once in the postseason, and we swept you guys in 2 games. So I would not be against that at all whatsoever, but I think something tells me Giants won't come through, and you're going to be wrong. Dodgers in 2. We got in 2 more. We got Dodgers in 2 from Michelle Carter. We got Patrick Gagne. Dodgers in 2. We got Greg Tucker. The Dodgers could face the Giants if they win. Yeah. How would you guys feel? Would that change anything with your predictions? Would you guys have Dodgers in 2? Would you guys have Dodgers in 3? To me, I think that I think it's pretty. Let's see what we have right now. It's 5-4, top of the ninth. Giants still have three outs left. I don't know what part of the lineup, but I don't see the Giants coming back in that one. Hope I'm wrong, though. I hope I'm wrong, but I got a really strong feeling it's the Dodgers and the Brew Crew. But Lakers and Dodgers taking all this year from Brian Alex. Jermaine, the 951 is tuned in, 43-17. This team showed consistency in a short season. They played like if it were a football season, they would have kept losses at a minimum. Dodgers in 2. Yeah, they did have a business-like approach all season long, and I think that you saw that. The Dodgers were just professional with every single game. They didn't take any games lightly. And like I said, you look at the Dodger record and you see 43-17. You see a 700-plus win percentage. You see a 136 run differential. But you don't see the fact that Clayton Kershaw, the second best pitcher on the team, him and Walker Buehler, it's really an argument at this point. It's debatable at this point, was out with a back injury, back tightness on opening day. And then Walker Buehler, the ace of the staff, who is going in game 1 of the wild card series, he goes out with he doesn't throw during the quarantine, and he wasn't ready to go. He didn't look right all season long. Then he goes on the IL with that blister injury, and then he was on fire his last outing against the Oakland A's. So this season, although the Dodgers, they had to overcome a lot of adversity to get to where they are. The two most powerful sluggers on this team last year, Cody Bellinger, 47 bombs last year, and Max Muncy, 35 home runs himself. They were struggling for most of the season. The Dodgers still found a way to finish with the best record, and that's why I still feel really good about this team, because I still think the best baseball is ahead of this team, and I think the Dodgers, they're going to have a deep postseason run, but they definitely deserve a lot of credit for grinding through this 60-game season and finishing with the best record. But here we go, Stratford, Connecticut, Dodgers in 2 from Matthew. We got John, greetings from Evansville. What up, John? How you doing? Welcome to the show, my man. Leslie, this year we take it back. Go Blue. Leslie, that's the mentality over there. We have to take it back because we know it was stolen from us in 2017. That Commissioner's Trophy, by the way, I want to give a shout-out to Spectrum Sportsnet. I don't know if you saw this before the game, but they had the Astros logo in the bottom scroller, and they had a little asterisk by the Astros, which I thought was clutch. Nice job. They got it right there over on Spectrum Sportsnet. We got Rafael. Who are we playing? So right now, still think it's going to be the Brewers. It is the bottom of the 9th. Right now, the Giants have Crawford, Bart, and Slater up. And it is, but yeah, let me know what's going on. So ground out, Myers ground. So bottom of the 9th in San Francisco. Not set in stone. A little premature by me to say it was the Brewers. But I'm telling you, it's going to be the Brewers. But if I'm wrong, I will gladly take that L because I want to give the Giants a beating in that wild card series. I think the Dodgers, they're going to make a statement in that first round. But True Blue fan from Pennsylvania, Sharon, we got 2020 is the year LA shines. Go Dodgers and Lakers. Randall Etheridge, what's up, Doug? Repping from North Carolina. Who's the MVP for the season? Seager. Interesting topic because you asked me this 2 weeks ago. I would have said it's pretty clear that it was going to be Mookie Betts. That Mookie Betts was the MVP of the team, and I still feel that way. I still feel what Mookie Betts did, changing the culture of this team. I personally believe that his work ethic, his fire, I think that he was a big part of the winning. You see the WAR he has, and you see his numbers, but if you want to look at these statistics, he also finishes with the tied with A.J. Pollock with a team lead in home runs. A.J. Pollock, 16 home runs. And Mookie Betts, he has 16 home runs on the year, 39 RBIs, finishes with a 292 batting average, a 368 on-base percentage, slugging 562, and an OPS of 928. But then, of course, Corey Seager. To me, Corey Seager's monster year was one of the greatest stories. That Corey Seager just balled out all season long, really kept those slumps to a minimum, and was just on fire. He was locked in all season long. And Corey Seager, he finishes the year with a 307 batting average, OPSing 943, and he hits 15 home runs, 41 RBIs. So he finishes with a team lead RBIs. And if you look at 37 strikeouts, 17 walks for Corey Seager, for Mookie Betts, 38 strikeouts, 24 walks. So really close. You can't go wrong defensively. Mookie Betts had a better year than Corey Seager, but hey, I mean, you're really just splitting hairs there. I think that I'm still gonna go with Mookie Betts, and the reason why I'm saying that, statistically, you can definitely make the case, and you wouldn't be wrong that Corey Seager is your team MVP. But I'm going with Mookie Betts because when they went exclusively with Mookie Betts at the top of the line, when they changed him to being the leadoff hitter every day, Mookie Betts was a different player, and the Dodgers were a different team completely. When he goes into that leadoff spot, the Dodgers, they just exploded all season long. So to me, if you look at Mookie Betts this year, batting, if you look at his average, yes, he finishes with a 292 average, but with Mookie Betts batting at the top of the lineup this year, he hit 302. So 302 with a 952 OPS. When he was batting second, he had 47 at-bats in the 2-hole. He bat 250. So 250 for Mookie Betts, batting in that 2-hole, a little over 200 at 255 with an OPS of 832. So I think if Mookie Betts had gone wire to wire at that leadoff spot, I think the Dodgers might have won a couple more games, because if you remember, they didn't just start out strong in the early part of the year. They had some bumps when they split the season series, when they split the series to the Giants when it goes 2-for-2. And then they did go on the road, beat the Astros. But to me, I have Mookie Betts. But let me know down below in the comments, who is your MVP? Now, when it comes to league MVP, I do think that Mookie Betts in the last week or so did lose out on that MVP to Freeman of the Braves. I think Freeman of the Braves will take home that MVP trophy. But don't worry, Mookie Betts will win an MVP. He'll probably win multiple MVPs. And I still think he's got a good shot of winning this MVP this season and being the first player since Frank Robinson to win an MVP in both leagues. But if you look at the last 7 games for Mookie Betts, he's 6 for his last 28, slashing .214, .290, and .393. So last 15 games hitting .246, last 30 games hitting .281. So I think Mookie Betts, he's ready to peak at the right time, and that is October. So I'm not concerned at all with Mookie Betts' recent little slide. I think that he's going to catch fire, and he's going to lead this team back to the World Series. But I want to know, let me know down below in the comments, who do you guys have as your team MVP? Do you got Mookie Betts? Do you have Corey Seager? Do you have someone else? Hey, this is your show, guys. Give me your takes. We got so it looks like 2 outs. It looks like 2 outs. Bart struck out swing, so the Giants have their last out, down 5-4. Like I was saying, man, those vibes are strong. It's a Brew Crew vibe. It's Dodgers Brewers. And let's see, now at bat Slater. We got shirt collab will be really dope. Champion, yeah, exactly. I'm telling you, man. Lakers, Dodgers, get that. AJ season MVP, Deborah Young. Hey, you can make the case. AJ Pollock had a great year. And I like it. Confident from John Freed. We got Coco, Los Angeles in the house. The Dodgers and Lakers, too. We have the best team in California, Gardena, in the house. Go Dodgers from Brad Nixon. This is the year. Greetings from North Plate, Nebraska. We got Gary over on Facebook, repping from Nevada. Grew up in L.A. for 21 years. Let's go Blue. We got Ryan, nice, Poctober. I know, whoever did that one. Hey, I like that. Poctober, man. I'm feeling that. Excited from Matthew over on Facebook. We got T-Gamer. Yep. We got Go Blue. We got Go Blue Balls from Douche over on YouTube. Confident. Awesome, sweet Blue Crew. George, we got Ryan. Yes, everybody wore their mask and avoided any COVID-19 outbreaks. Yeah, got to give the Dodgers credit. We got the same here. We got Gabe. The club is carrying too many pitchers, 13 position players. We are carrying all go the roster for a 3-game series. Where's Cartaya McKinstry getting looks this weekend? Yeah, I think that you could definitely say that you could have brought up some guys, considering there's no minor league. You just have the USC campus where guys are working out there. But I think the Dodgers also are flirting with the idea of possibly having a third catcher. I think you might see them consider. Dave Roberts said they might consider bringing in Keibert Ruiz and then DHing Will Smith, because he's been swinging a hot bat pretty much for the entire season after he came back from that neck injury. So I do think when it comes to rosters, like Dave Roberts said early in an interview early in the season, that this team was not concerned with development. This team is concerned. There you go. So there you got the final. It will not be the Giants. Breaking news, San Diego wins by a score of 5-4. It is officially official that the Dodgers will play the Milwaukee Brewers in that first round. The Giants, I'm telling you, they didn't want this. They didn't want this. But here we go. Angels are smelly. Douche, you got some pretty funny comments, man. You got me rolling over there. Much love from Mars. Hey, man, how's it? First man to Mars over there. It won't matter. Dodgers still in 2. That's from Maura O'Brien. Dodgers win. Ryan, I think part of this business-like approach was because of what happened to us this offseason with the scandal. I think you're absolutely correct on that one. I think the Dodgers are mad. I think they're going to have a venomous run at a title where this is business, they're taking back. I forgot who said it earlier, but one of you guys commented that it's about taking what's theirs. That World Series title is the Dodgers. And another thing I want to mention, too, is that, like, let's say you get a fluky title. Let's say that a team like the Marlins wins, and the Marlins, Donnie Baseball, finishing 6th, and every time they made it to the playoffs, they make a postseason. Every time they made it to the postseason, they win the World Series. If they win the World Series, people might say, oh, it's kind of a fluke. A 60-game season, who knows what happens. They would still get a lot of credit, no question about it. But if the Dodgers win It's you got the best team that was favored, wins the World Series, and I think most people will say, one, the Dodgers won in 2017, and two, the Dodgers would have won in a 60, 100, or 162 game season, so I don't think it will be as tainted as people think it might. And another thing, too, everyone's going to remember this title. Everyone's going to remember the World Series. It's going to be a part of baseball history forever because everyone's going to remember the title with no fans. Everyone's going to remember when we weren't able to go to games. And yes, you had external circumstances that were the reason for that with the outbreak in the pandemic, but I think this will be a memorable title regardless, and I think that the Dodgers, if they win it, it'll be held up there with the normal title when you consider all the factors. So, and if it doesn't, hey, fine, that's fine with me because I think they'll just be more motivated to want to repeat next year. Santa Maria from the 805. What's up, Ruben? Always rocking with this, man. How you doing, my man? Time to sweep the Brewers. Dodgers all the way. We got Greg Pierce, Seager, season MVP. But I agree, Mookie had a major positive impact. Glad he's a Dodger. Yeah, hey, trust me, you can convince me on Corey Seager. You could say Corey Seager, and it would not be a wrong answer. That's for sure. 5-4 Padres down. What up, Greg? Mora, I agree with you about Mookie, but it was definitely close. I think the whole team deserves accolades. Yeah, I think that this team – I don't think that there's a lot of players, a lot of guys that are concerned with an individual award on this team. I think that the Dodgers, they want to win the World Series. And I think that, look, Mookie Betts, if he doesn't win MVP, one thing he doesn't have on his trophy case is World Series MVP. So I think that it's all about the postseason with this team. You know that's the standard. Like, I hate to use the cliche World Series or bust, but I think that what I mean by World Series or bust is the only way that this season will be considered a success is if the Dodgers win the World Series. If you want to say that's World Series or bust, that's fine because it doesn't change how I feel about the Dodgers really. But I think we all know and can accept that at this point. So, yeah, if you want to let me know down below actually, I want to ask you guys a question. Okay, one of my favorite things about Mattingly was that he would let one Dodger manage the last day. You had Juan Uribe, all kinds of guys. Who would you want to see the Dodgers allow manage one game? Let me know down below in the comments. Who would you guys want to see? Because my personal pick, I want to see Justin Turner. I want to see Justin Turner because one day I want Justin Turner, Ginger Jesus, JT, I want him to be the manager of the Los Angeles Dodgers because, hey, he's beloved within the organization. He's a part of this franchise forever with that home run he hit against the Cubs in 2017, and I want to be a part of this team, and I also think he can be a great manager. I think he knows the game. He relates to players, but let me know down below in the comments. Who would you guys have be your manager for the day if the Dodgers could select one player? Let me know down below in the comments. JT, Belly, Seager, Mookie or Seager. Bart strikes out on 3 pitches, 2 days. Guys, thanks for keeping me updated. I really appreciate that. So we got Giants are done. Bring on the Boo crew. We got Greg Pierce. Brewers. I like that, Greg. Okay, Keith. Please know Alex Wood on the roster. That's from Keith Dombrowski. Yeah, Alex Wood, unfortunately, he has definitely struggled of late. Alex Wood, they really just can't seem to find a role for Alex Wood. And I think that, I think the Dodgers are definitely going to shake up their roster every series, and they're going to see how their arms fare in that first round. Will they have to go deep into that bullpen? We'll see. But Alex Wood on the year, a 6.40. He finishes with a 6.40 ERA, and he hasn't had a scoreless outing. So in his 5 of his last 6 outings, he's given up a run. He gave up 3 runs at Colorado. Yesterday, he goes an inning and a third, gives up a run. And the only thing about Alex Wood, though, which I think is a little promising, is the fact he's not giving up very many home runs. And giving up 2 home runs on the year, and that's one thing that this Dodgers bullpen does at an elite level, is if you look at the Dodgers, they're giving up some of the best. Their walks per 9, best in baseball. Their strikeouts per 9, they're 22nd, but a 2.80 ERA for the Dodgers on the year. That's second in Major League Baseball. Pitching with 3.06 ERA, that's first in baseball. And 66 home runs allowed, that's tied for second lowest in Major League Baseball. So keep the ball in the yard. We know that's key. You know that, look, Jackie Bradley Jr. in Game 3, Marwin Gonzalez. We know that when it's the postseason, it's usually that home run ball that ends up being the nightmare moment for the Dodgers. So keeping the ball in the yard, that's what this Dodger team does. And I think that's one of the ways this team improves upon, has a great postseason run. But here we go, guys. Back into the comments, guys. So we got Justin Turner from Margie, could be our future manager. Deborah Young, we will have to play small ball since the ball doesn't fly out Arlington. That's a great point, Deborah Young, that is going to be an adjustment. And this team did have their fair share of home runs, though. You remember Will Smith went deep, Cody Bellinger went deep, Max Muncy went deep. I think this team is going to be able to hit home runs. And I also think if the balls aren't flying out, I think we will have some major I think the juice balls will be back in the postseason, especially when you consider the fact that, look, the baseball is competition, the NBA, the NFL, college football. Fans aren't going to tune into low-scoring games. Even though if I could have my pick, I love pitcher duels. I'm a pitcher's guy all day, every day. But I think that the Major League Baseball is going to want offense, and I think that I don't care what park it is. Yes, and the other couple of things, too, is, the Dodgers, they never have been shut out all game long. They go 60 games scoring at least one run. I want to give a shout-out to my man Daniel Palma over at Dodgers Nation. He predicted that. It was one of his preseason predictions. He said that the Dodgers would go 60 games without getting shut out. You called it, my man. So there you go. Here we go back into the comment section, guys. And team MVP JT Moogie, I would like to see you manage a game, Doug. Hey, I'd be out there, man. I'd be like Tommy Lasorda, man. I'd be like Tommy Lasorda, yelling, screaming, and I'd be keeping my starters in as long as possible. But it would be fun to manage a game, especially for this team with all the depth they have, all the options they have. But here we go. Dodgers best team in baseball. This is our year. Mommy Garcia. We got Dan. JT would be good. How about Matt Kemp? Matt Kemp. Always. He's like one of those Dodgers. Hi, Doug. Great game from Laura. How's it going, Laura? Day one here on the Dodgers Show. Boy in blue, Guard, do you think we will win this year? And I think that is a yes. Right now, look, baseball, here's how you got to think of this. Last year, the Nationals at one point, they had less than a 1% chance. The Nationals had less than a 1% chance of winning the World Series. They ended up beating a historically great, quote-unquote, we don't know how much cheating they were doing, Astros team on the road in Game 7. And then last year, you had a 106-win Dodger team go down in the NLDS. There's so much unpredictability when it comes to baseball that I think it's tough to predict. I think the Dodgers, right now, they have the best team in baseball by a wide margin, and they have a 20% chance of winning the World Series. So baseball, there's a lot of things that happen, and that's why it's my favorite sport, is because you just don't know what's going to transpire. But right now, I have a really good feeling about this Dodger team. I think if they get past this wild card series, in which they will, I'm very confident they will, then it'll really feel like the playoffs are starting. It almost feels like the wild card series almost feels like it's a game after a game 163 and right between that NLDS, because that's exactly what it is. So I think that once we get deeper in the postseason, once we start getting those 7-game series like you're going to see in the championship series and the World Series, I'll become more confident with that. I think with the Padres, I want to see how Clevenger does when they shoot him up with that cortisone. Lamet, apparently it was a bicep injury, so they avoided a major injury scare there. And then Fernando Tatis Jr., he meets up with his dad, and his dad gets him out of that slump, and he starts hitting again. So, look, you know how it is in October. The hottest team wins. Who's going to catch fire? And I think the Dodgers, they have so many weapons, and I do think this is the year they're going to get it done. Randall Etheridge, a 3-game series worries me. It does worry me to an extent that, look, if the Dodgers lost, I would be shocked. But I would also remind myself that baseball is baseball and that anything can happen in this sport that you love. It's a sport where you can be great and still lose, 60 games a season, 62 games a season, 70 games a season. And I think that that's the thing about baseball. It's a sport where you can get a hit 3 out of every. You can fail 7 out of 10 times and make it to the Hall of Fame and be considered the greatest ever. So baseball is a cruel sport like that, and it wouldn't shock me, but I think the Dodgers have everything they need from top to bottom: arms, depth, batting, offensive power, pitching. I think that everything is in line right now for the Dodgers to go on a deep postseason run, and I see them cashing in October and hoisting that Commissioner's Trophy. And they're not going to be popping champagne, but they're going to win this World Series, I'm telling you right now. The Dodgers lost. That would be the saddest thing ever. That's from Brian Alex. Young stud, the NLDS matchup is going to be tough, either Cardinals or Padres. Yes, that one is – Angels GM fires. Is that breaking news here? Torrey Campbell, Angels fire. Yes, the NLDS, I think that this postseason run, to me, it's going to come down to the NLDS. I think if the Dodgers get past either the Cardinals, who you got, the thing about the Cardinals is, from an offensive standpoint, I think they have one of the worst offenses when it comes to hitting home runs in the league, so they don't scare me. Flaherty, he's definitely up there, and he can get a game, but now we're talking 5 games. Now, when it comes to the Padres, they have a potent offense, but we'll see. Is Lamet okay? Is Clevenger going to be fine? If they were at full strength, I think they would pose more of a threat. But I think if the Dodgers get past the NLDS, they're going to win the World Series. I still feel very confident in the Dodgers winning the World Series overall, but I think it's going to come down to that NLDS. 1, because you got a formidable opponent in the Padres and the Cardinals, and 2, it's the games. It's 5 games. Only have to beat the Dodgers 3 out of 5 versus when it gets to that 7-game series, it's going to be tough for any team to match this Dodgers depth. So very confident, but just you saying that really got me scared. Not going to lie, man. We can keep it real with you. Keep it 100, as the kids say. NLDS matchup, we got Brian. If the Torrey Campbell, they haven't lost a series all season long, and that's encouraging. Yeah, only one loss, only one series loss for the Dodgers this year. One series loss the entire season, and that shows the consistency, and that shows that it's hard to beat this Dodger team in consecutive games. That is how you have deep postseason runs, and I think you're absolutely correct with that one, that, yes, their consistency was unbelievable all season long, guys. But, yeah, so, yeah, we're going to be rocking with you guys all postseason long, by the way, guys. We're going to be going we're going to be doing every game in the postseason, so get ready, man. It is happening. So on a scale, give me your percentage chance right now that you think the Dodgers will win the World Series. Let me know, how confident are you. Let me know down below in the comments. But yeah, getting back into this game a little more. Another thing I want to talk about is Dustin May. So let's talk about how some of these pitchers how some of the pitchers fared in the Dodgers 5-0 win over the Dodgers 5-0 win over the Angels in the season finale today at Dodger Stadium. It's an early game, man. 12:05, man. I just got up. I'm not gonna lie. No, but let's see here. We got in the Dodgers. The thing about Dustin May is he showed that all of his talent, right? Dustin May, so much talent, and He did have, the walks were a little concerning to me still. That's the thing about Dustin May, is those walks in today's game. It was a little bit of a concern, but he goes on the day, Dustin May, he goes 4 innings pitched, 2 hits, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks, and if you look at his, so the 4th inning, he issues that leadoff walk to Walsh, missed with his curveball, sinker change, really didn't have the feel for his off-speed stuff during that at-bat. And then he strikes out Ohtani on a cutter, strikes out Adele on a curveball. So he walks the leadoff batter in the 4th, and then he comes back to strike out the side. So you saw that talent. Not many guys can strike out the side like Dustin May. And then at the top of the 5th, he walks Ben Broom. By the way, that name was awesome. I love that, Ben Broom. And then Dustin May, he hung a cutter, and Upton grounded into a 5-4-3 double. So Upton couldn't take advantage of that hanging cutter by Dustin May. He grounds into a 5-4-3 double play, so he gives up the single to Jones, then gets Soto to ground into a 4. So he gets out of a jam, and I think that's one thing about Dustin May is that, you want to keep those walks down. That's why I'm a big fan of Tony Gonsolin. He's not going to walk as many guys. Dustin May is, if he's not throwing his off-speed stuff for strikes, he can get into some trouble, right? This year, his walks per 9 is sitting at 2.4 heading into this outing. Strikeouts per 9 at 6.8. So I think that you're going to see Tony Gonsolin. I think you're going to see Dustin May and Julio Urias get some time out of that bullpen. I think today was a good opportunity for them to get that, to really get acclimated and adapt to coming out of the bullpen. Yeah, really, Gonsolin's walks per 9, it's 1.4. So a little more confidence in Gonsolin. I think that Dustin May has all the talent in the world to be a superstar, but I think that there is still a little bit of rawness to Dustin May. But here we go. Confidence, we got Laura Ruiz, 100 with the Hearts. We got Burlington, Ontario, Canada. Doug Leonard, go Dodgers. Nelly, 100% confident. Mora, 100% confident. Eddie, our 700 Dodgers will take out 2020, no question. Go Dodgers from Eddie, very confident. Greg Pierce, Doug, great job this year. Thank you. Hey, thanks a lot for rocking with us, guys. You guys have made it a blast all season long. I want to thank you guys rocking with us every single show, making this show a lot of fun. But, hey, the best is yet to come, man, because, I'm going to be looking for you guys in the comments when the postseason game, after the postseason games come. These comments are just on fire. But I'm going to be looking for you guys because the day ones, you guys deserve. You guys have the fire takes, but it's going to be a crazy journey through this postseason. Let's hope we get tons and tons of shows because a deep run will mean a lot of Dodgers Nation post-game shows. But May and Gonzo, the hair crew from Randall Etheridge, yeah, I call Dustin May the man with the mane. Dustin Mania, and I think he was on Joe Davis's podcast. He was talking about how he was lining up an endorsement deal, so that's pretty cool. He's almost going to be like Troy Polamalu or Clay Matthews or something like that. He has to get an insurance policy on that hair. But let's go Dodgers from Santa Fe, New Mexico. That's from Andrew. Patrick Gagne, we Dodger fans must always think blue and think positive when the playoffs start. Yes, Patrick Gagne, I'll have to say that is easier said than done, my man. It's easier said than done to think positive because we are an emotionally scarred fan base, and let's just be honest about that. We've had so many triumphs, 8 straight division titles, but we've also endured a lot of pain. And some of it's been self-inflicted, and some of it we didn't deserve. But, yeah, definitely, I think we definitely deserve a World Series title, considering everything this franchise has had to endure and not winning a title since 1988. But to me, look, the losses, the wins, the big moments, the collapses, I'm just here for it all. If you love the Dodgers, you love the Dodgers. And like Vince Scully said, nothing ever comes easy for the Dodgers. I don't care if it's the Brooklyn Dodgers losing 7 or 8 times before they beat the Yankees in 1955, or it was the Dodgers. That is just the history of this franchise, and you understand that. Greetings, bro. Let's go LA from Diego. What up, Diego? How's it going, man? Ruben, hope there is a parade after we win. Hey, man, I don't care if it's virtual. I don't care. It's going to be tough to keep me from running around the streets if the Dodgers win a World Series. All bets are off. Like, I'm all for doing what's right, but it's going to be tough to keep this town in line if the Dodgers find a way to win that World Series title. But I definitely hope there will be a parade. I don't care if it's next spring, but whenever it is, there will be a parade if the Dodgers win. More, thanks for rocking with us. Angels stink dingleberries. Douchebag, man. You got the jokes over on YouTube, my man. Angels stink dingleberries. Keith Dombrowski, Dodger bullpen has overall been fantastic. Dodgers and Rays seem to have the most complete team. 90% confident they can bring the championship home. Their offense is fabulous. Let's bring it home, boys. Yeah, the only thing that concerns me about the Dodgers bullpen is, yes, they don't strike out too many guys. You're talking about 22nd in the league when it comes to K through 9. When it comes to walking guys, it's at 2.55, which is 9th best. And when it comes to their left on base percentage, it's they're 5th in the league. So the only thing about the bullpen that concerns me is what Kenley Jansen are we going to get? Because if you saw the other day when Kenley Jansen throws the ball in the air, that cutter was at 88, 89. It was flat at times. I mean, that's not going to get it done in the postseason. So to me, I want to see how Kenley Jansen can pitch on consecutive appearances, and I want to see if he's going to rise to the occasion. Because if he doesn't, I think that Pryor, the bullpen coaches, they need to pull the plug on a Kenley Jansen outing that could be disastrous, and they need to have a short leash on him. Trinan, a nice positive outing for Blake Trinan today. Blake Trinan goes an innings pitched, a scoreless inning for him. Gratterall scoreless. Jansen, a strikeout there. He looked good today. 9 pitches, 6 strikes for Kenley Jansen right there. And you want to see him start the batters, start the at bats ahead in the count. Goes 1 for 3 on first pitch strikes. But I think that Victor Gonzalez is a wild card. Will Victor Gonzalez be able to perform in the postseason? A very young player. He's shown a lot of potential this year. Today, Victor Gonzalez, he gives up a hit and a strikeout, but he goes scoreless in his innings pitched. And then Pedro Baez, he goes scoreless too. So this Dodger bullpen, they've stepped up to the plate all season long, and especially early in the year when starters weren't going deep into games. So, look, man, we're going to find out a lot about this team in the next week or so. But we got Patrick on it, so true, Doug. Yeah, right. We are in it's tough, man. We are a scarred franchise. But look, we're a glorious franchise, right? I mean, no one has it better than the Dodgers. I'll tell you that right now. The ups and the downs, smiles and frowns, like Snoop Dogg says. No one has it better than Dodger fans. I'm telling you guys, we have a chance each and every year to win a World Series. Not many teams can say that. We got Doug McCain got the best Dodger podcast and breakdowns ever. Yeah, Base Lord. Thanks for the shout-out, man. Yeah, for sure, man. Eddie Harrison, 1988 to 2020. Base Lord, I'm happy we're playing the Brewers. Base Lord, I feel like playing the Brewers round one is good luck. Hey, that's a great point right there. Last time we faced the Brewers in the postseason, we won Game 7 on the road. Who remembers that Chris Taylor catch? Who remembers Clayton Kershaw going in there? Walker Buehler starting that game. He goes like 4 1/3 in that one. So, yeah, it brings up some good memories. And how about Jeffries? Remember Jeffries? LOL, right? Randall Everett, Dodgers fan for 61 years. Great show, Doug. Thanks, Randall. The drone, the blackout, the championship from Greg Pierce. Yeah, a lot of wild times, right? The drone, the blackout, the championship. Another thing I saw that I must have missed. I don't know how I missed this. I saw it on YouTube a few days ago. How about that Dodger fan that snuck into the game and was sitting next to the cardboard cutouts? I mean, what was up with that, man? I mean, just a hilarious year. We're never going to forget this. Like I said, no matter what happens, there's a lot of years where you're like, oh, was that 2008? Was that 2009? Was that 2002? You're never going to forget 2020 for good reasons and bad reasons. We're never going to forget those cardboard cutouts. So if nothing else, this is going to be a memorable year. But one thing I want to ask you guys before we head into the postseason, what was your favorite moment from the regular season? To me, I think it's easy. It was the Chris Taylor throw off in San Diego. It was the first time it happened in like 4 years. An outfield assist to end a game like that. They had an opportunity, and I think that is when they just ended the Padres that night, and we showed that, hey, the NL West is still the Dodgers division. But let me know, what was your moment down below in the comments? It could be Kershaw passing Drysdale, passing Christy Mathewson, all the accolades he collected, all the milestones he achieved. Or was it Cody Bellinger's walk-off where he didn't know what was happening, just like clueless, like he didn't know it went over? Was it Mookie Betts' 3-home-run game? Let me know down below in the comments. You can make your own up. Hey, Assailed Loner, CT3 thrown out at the plate. Brian Alex, Dodgers versus White Sox, 2020, my prediction. Brian Alex, we're on the same page in a major way. That was my prediction before the season started. In the first show, I said Dodgers, White Sox. I think it could happen. And if it does happen, Dodgers face the White Sox, and it was their first World Series in L.A. in 1959. So if the Dodgers could get that done, hey, it'd be nice. History repeating itself. Ryan with a shout-out. D-Mac is the best postgame show. Yeah, Long Greg Burry. Yeah, he's the old guy who did this one. Yeah, I wonder if he'll be back in the mix. Shout-out to him. He's a good dude. Kershaw, pitching vintage baseball. That, Eric Kwan, I think that could be it, man. I really think it could be it because I'll be honest with you. After Game 5, when Kershaw was sitting in that dugout, I didn't know. Were we going to see Kershaw pitch at an all-star level again? Was he going to ever be a pitcher that you'd want as your 1 and 2 starter? Like, you just never know. I mean, like, his stuff, the velocity-wise, was dipping. His psyche, we know how mentally tough he is. Nothing was going to shake Kershaw, but you just never know. I really was fearing that maybe, hey, the best days were behind us with Clayton Kershaw, and was I wrong? And was I ever so wrong? Because Clayton Kershaw has really the bounce back year that Kershaw has had, where he looks like a top 10 pitcher once again, where he's a pitcher that you want to see out there starting for the Dodgers. I couldn't be more happier for Clayton Kershaw, and I think that is the take right there for sure. Clayton Kershaw is definitely up there too. When you think of the season as a whole, that's definitely it. And yeah, and how about just like swaggy Kershaw too, man? When he was rocking Bruce Dark Gratterall's chain. How about when he had the buttons off, the shirts off, and in the Angels? I think look, man, I start to blush when I talk about Clayton Kershaw. I'm just a big fan of that guy. He's a great dude. He also hooked our boys up, the senior editors of Dodgers Nation, Brooks Smith and Clint Pasillas, with some of his beer. So get some of that beer. It goes to a good cause. A great one for Vin. Yeah, exactly. What up, Mr. Doug? Joseph Megazzani, another day one on the show. Hey, we've been breaking it down the whole show. It's crazy, man. Postseason is here. October baseball has arrived almost. And, hey, man, buckle up. It's going to get wild. Ryan, yeah, Driveline revived Kershaw's below. They're the dark horse team MVP. Hey, yeah, like I said, too, Ryan, that's a great point because Joe Davis mentioned it I don't even know when. I mean, it's one of these games that it was the highest increase of a velocity after a drop-off with Clayton Kershaw on the year, and that, yeah, it was a big factor. And look, 1 for 2 ain't bad because Clayton Kershaw's velocity increase, the uptick in velocity, I think it just gave him the confidence to get back and pitching the way he's capable of pitching. And he didn't have a bad year last year. I mean, he got a lot of run support. His ERA just over 3, but I think that it was kind of that last moment against the Nationals that you kind of think of. But if you look at Clayton Kershaw on the year, that four-seamer averaged around 91.6 miles per hour. Last year, 90.3 miles per hour. But we saw it as high as 94. He was hitting 95, I think, 1 or 2 times. So against the Angels. So Clayton Kershaw, look, as long as he's commanding his fastball, he's got that grit, that tenacity level that you just can't quantify, right? You can't measure that. And I think that Clayton Kershaw, he has the heart of a champion. I think that, man, his redemption arc, his redemption story, if he wins a World Series and he has that World Series moment, it would be a perfect ending to this 2020 season. And but yep, guys, what time is it? Let's see here. A couple more takes in, guys. We're going to squeeze in a couple more here. I don't know, maybe we'll do a preview show Tuesday. I don't know, but be ready to roll for the postseason, guys, because it is going down in a major way. The Dodgers versus the Brewers, the Blue Crew versus the Brew Crew in the wild card series. The Dodgers, Walker Buehler going in Game 1, Clayton Kershaw in Game 2. Dodgers, Brewers, it has arrived, guys. The postseason is finally here. The time of the year that you live for is here, guys. I know you're excited, but thanks again, as always, guys. You can find me at you can follow me at DMAC_LA. That's at DMAC_LA on Twitter and Instagram. And like I said, subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to the channel, get merched up. Go to DodgersNation.com/shop. The best Dodgers gear in the game. Tune into the Blue Heaven podcast tomorrow. I'm sure that one's going to be extra exciting considering that it's postseason week. But thanks again, guys. As always, remember, nothing brings us together quite like Dodgers baseball. Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
Swung on and missed a perfect game.